All right, call the meeting to order. It is 5:33 p.m. on July 10th. Take a roll call. Chris Robinson. Here. Danielle Bailey. Here. Katie Avalos. Here. Karen Brownwell. Here. And
Carla Pennington Press is here. Sorry, I forgot my mic. All right, item 1C on the agenda. Should approve the agenda. What's that? Oh, motion.
sorry.
Oh, you're way ahead of me. Okay, I've got a motion to approve the agenda from Danielle Bailey. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
agenda is approved. Moving on to item 2A, Title IX policy. The recommended action here is to approve a first reading of the updated Title IX Neola policies, and I would ask Anna, please tell us about this.
How many mics are on? There's 3 on right now.
I'm awake. Well,
I'm terribly sorry for that. I'm hoping that everyone here can not lose any hearing over that. The Title IX policy for approval that you see attached is the clean version from Neola based on the recommendations. You also can see the notes and options versions. At this time, I would want to know if there are any questions about notes and options that were selected within the Neola policy. Otherwise, I would recommend approval of the first reading so that we could move to our second reading in late July.
okay, before we move to discussion first, is there a motion? To approve the first reading?
I move to approve the first reading of the updated Title IX Neola policy. Second.
All right, any discussion? Chris?
I'm sorry, I have kind of a lot.
Okay. Troublemaker.
On page 2, and I got the pages from just bringing it up and seeing what it said since they weren't numbered. Instead of just holidays, I wondered if we could add something like and days in which the schools are closed. Could you point us to the provisions?
Okay.
That would be easy if I had it brought up, which I don't.
Oh,
Give me
days.
just a second.
Under key definitions where it says days, is that right?
Days.
Yep.
Under
Definition
definition.
2 of 18. Excluding state recognized holidays.
Yes, that is
Okay,
it.
thanks.
So I wondered, I think we would not want, if it's legally permissible, instead of just having state recognized holidays, I'm thinking, what if we got a complaint the day before winter break?
Or a federal holiday that the state doesn't recognize.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
so I wondered if we could add something about and days in which the schools are closed.
Yeah, in the terms, it says as used in this days, as used in this policy, you mean the days, i.e. days that the board office is open for normal meeting hours, Monday through Friday. So that, I think that would cover our operating hours, Monday through Friday, so if we're closed for winter break, that would not indicate. That's how I would read that.
Yeah.
I think I read it differently, but if everyone else is on board with that.
Yeah,
I'll
the
just
phrase-
draw that.
How did you read it? I just want to make sure that we have clarity.
The phrase board op, days that the board office is open for normal operating hours. I think covers.
What is the board office?
Well, so that was my question.
Oh, that's
actually.
interesting,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like, for instance,
Should I say
are you talking about when school is in session as in students are in the building? Because I do not think that we could preclude that because, for instance, summer.
No, I was thinking when administrators are working.
Should that say
Okay.
district office then? That's how we use the language here.
I like that.
Okay, so strike that, move it to district office
Yes.
versus board office?
Yes.
Okay, yep, that makes sense to me.
Okay. Shall I keep going?
Yes.
Okay. Where it says educational program or activity, which is on that next page.
Top of 3.
Yep, thank you. I had a question about that occurs on school grounds or any other property owned or occupied by the board. That to me would make us responsible for everything that happens in the daycare or other tenants. And I don't have in looking at the original document, I think it was probably written for fraternities and sororities. But I wondered if we can talk to somebody about rewording that so it doesn't include the Good Hope School.
You're right. Right now, that's written, it would include, Glendale Heights and the Jewish school, wouldn't it?
I think you can make an argument either way. If you
Yeah,
look
it's
at
not-
all the district's operations, we don't have any operations within Good Hope. But
All
if you wanna say community engagement, like somehow we engage the community through Good Hope because we let communities reside there, like, you know, community businesses. I mean, you could like try to lawyer it, you know, and make an argument for that, so. If you can carve it out more clearly, it doesn't hurt you.
No,
I could see for more clarification, I would read it as you, Danielle, we own that building, but the operation of the daycare is held within the operation of the daycare as the primary business lead, not the board. The board does oversee the daycare.
yeah, but that second sentence is written broadly enough.
Yeah, so if you want some clarity on that. Okay.
Well, do we assert disciplinary authority over anything?
Well, that's a separate,
Oh,
that's a separate sentence.
That's a separate sentence.
So,
Those are two things.
yeah, I would just ask for clarity. It might be like overly safe or cautious, but it wouldn't,
I'm sorry.
yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
I would like to
Exactly.
not find out that we were wrong.
Right,
Yeah, it's one of those things, you'll find out you're wrong when it ends up in court and a judge decides.
Yeah, so let's get it cleared up up front.
Onward.
Alright.
Okay, the end of page 10, beginning of page 11. I just have a suggestion for a clarification. Under notice of allegations, you have A, B, C, and D. It is elsewhere in the policy, but I wondered about adding an E, the availability of supportive measures. Supportive measures are definitely discussed in here elsewhere, but to me, it makes sense to put it there too. If the administrator's looking for like a check, or the Title IX coordinator's looking for a checklist, it just, I think, makes it easier. On page 14. Oh, just there's a quick typo at the bottom. Parties provided a reasonable.
The E is missing in reasonable.
Yep. It's very closely and very impressed.
Where, in the.
And the title,
Parties
parties provided.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
And then there was one point that I didn't understand because I thought it conflicted with each other, and I realized that may well have been the way that the law was passed. But there's, if you look on page, am I still in 14? Yeah, still in 14, under appeal of determinations. B says that a party can appeal based on new evidence that would change the outcome, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then later, it says that at the bottom of that page, no new or additional evidence may be submitted during the appeal process. So I was confused by how those two went together.
Where's the second part you were like?
It's right here. And then right here. I don't see how
I saw
those two go together. And maybe it's just a few clarifying words.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Is it possible that it means that once the appeal has started, they can't submit additional?
Possible, that was what would make the most, like, once the statements have been received in an appeal.
That is
You can't, but that's a good question.
You could just add a phrase, except as as, except as, you know, described in part one, part B above, right?
Yeah, I think that would do it.
Except as provided under, you know, appeal of determinations, part B. First part B, I guess, it's not really well numbered at this point.
All right, I just have two more.
Just keep going, just for clarity, you want this except as provided by this appeals, you want it to, that to be by B on appeal of determination, new evidence would change the outcome?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because those are contrary, right? To each other. That's probably something Neola. Maybe Neola can give you some advice on,
yeah.
right? Can't be the first, well, maybe it is the
It
first.
might
time,
have
so-
to do with the statement the parties are allowed to make in support of challenging the decision makers, so. You made the new evidence may be the burden to get the appeal, and then you can submit a statement. And in that statement, you can't put any new evidence forth. So you'd have to have the new evidence to get the appeal.
Right.
When you get the appeal, you get to make a statement. Both parties can say I support or I don't support. And at that point, though, you can't provide new evidence.
Hard to say
Yeah,
how it's written.
legal.
Okay, we're just making it up.
Yeah, exactly.
We be great judges.
All right, so for that part, are we asking them to implement that specific statement, or do you want me to just point out the contradiction and get advice?
Get there.
I'll just get clarification.
Okay, clarification with advisement.
Yeah. I mean, it's your.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. On the top of page 16, second paragraph. The superintendent may place an employee respondent on administrative leave, et cetera. Do we need to say with or without pay, or does that become a judgment call?
And I think your clarification.
Wonder if that.
Like, Chris, I think you have a policy making in your blood.
And did you pick the right time to join?
Didn't see this coming.
Yeah, or maybe connected to if we have any other policies on administrative leave.
That's consistent with policy
Yeah.
or whatever.
That's kind of what my wondering would be, is there's
Yeah.
probably something else in another policy that it could be referenced here, though.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
policy number.
Yeah.
Yep. Great catch.
And then the last one, same page, where it talks about. I'm looking for the part about students with IEPs. Oh, here it is. It's at the top, isn't it? Yes, it's at the top. The Title IX, if the student has an IEP or 504 plan, you're consulting with one or more members of the student's IEP or 504 team. I wondered about adding the special education director in that and or the case manager, because a regular ed teacher is a member of the team, but they're not necessarily gonna know the legal things that need to happen. You know, do you need a manifestation hearing or something? So I do at least add the special education, the director of special education to that.
The only caveat in that would be if the director of special education was involved in the complainant, and so then you're gonna run down if and or kind of scenario within the policy. I think that I could see that coming forward then.
Or could you say, or case manager
Yeah, one or more
and or case manager?
So you're hoping it would be, you want to specify that it's someone on the special education side as opposed to a regular ed teacher who's. on the team.
Right, because they all know the student,
Right,
but the
right.
special education staff is gonna know
Yeah. It's a
the
principle.
complexities.
Just an extra level of protection for a student with an IEP.
Right.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
So maybe that sounds like something you might want to ruminate with the team about. Would that seem fair and figure out how you want to say it?
Yeah, I think I will seek to get clarification from Neola on how we can word that in there, but I think either or would make sense, right? As a layer of protection, and I don't know that the team would need to ruminate on that as an actual team, I think we'd be in agreement.
Anything else?
That's it.
Those are all mine.
Katie, you're fine?
I very proudly noted a typo. I shared with, but I did not catch all the others.
All right, so, subject to those questions from Chris, recognizing Anna's gonna follow up on them. We have a motion and a second to approve the updated Title IX policies first reading. Everybody ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? And the first reading of our Title IX policies is approved. Next item on the agenda, Part 3A, closed session. Is there a motion?
I move to recess into closed session for section 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise its responsibilities, specifically to review personnel changes.
Oh, right.
I second. I'll second.
All in one breath. Roll call vote. Chris Robinson.
Aye.
Daniel Bailey.
Aye.
Katie Avalos.
Aye.
Karen Cronwell.
Aye.
Carla Pennington Cross, aye. We are in closed session at. We're back on session?
All right, we are back in open session. Are there any motions?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve the resignation of Maddie Visser, Deb Gallitz, Terry Wagner, and Eric Grabowski, and the retirement of Natalie Block, as discussed in closed session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none.
Do we wanna?
Oh,
You want to say it now?
I just want to thank all of the employees who are both resigning and wish them the best of luck in future endeavors, and would like to thank Natalie Block also for her years of service to our district and the work that she did in propelling mathematics education here. Thank you, Natalie.
Agreed.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No, I mean, emotionally, I'm opposed to these departures, but I will honor them. All right, is there a second motion?
Yes, I move to approve the new hires to fill existing positions currently vacant. Leon Williams, Assistant Principal at Glen Hills Middle School. Paul Glasser, Special Education Teacher at Parkway. Ryan Tice at Glen Hills Middle School, Teacher. Daniel Riedlich, Glen Hills Math Teacher and Interventionist. And 2 paraprofessionals at Parkway, Jamie Jacoby and Stephanie Shalecki. I apologize if I have mispronounced anyone's names, but we welcome them.
As discussed in closed session.
Correct.
All right, so there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
And any discussion? Anna, any comments you'd like to make?
I would like to welcome all of our new employees. It is always hard to fill vacancies when we have people leave, and we are excited to bring new talent into our district and onboard them for a successful 24-25 school year, and hopefully their longevity with us in our district.
You're here. And as Karen mentioned, these are all replacement hires of existing positions. None of these hires involve the creation of any positions. Any further comments? All right, then, there's a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And the motion passes, and welcome to our 6 new employees of the district. And I would just like to point out, as I did in close, that Mr. Williams and Mr. Williams are gonna have to work out some name things. At Glen Hills. All right, moving on, what's next? Adjournment.
Retreat agenda.
Do we have to adjourn out of our open session? I mean, out of our regular meeting?
Adjournment is after the retreat.
Okay, all right.
Are
So we
we,
are now moving into our board retreat.
are we ending the recorded portion of the evenings? Okay,
Yes.
excellent. Thank you.